we don't see those thrown down often, but somebody who slays out as much as him, he has a better chance of getting it because it is, pretty hard to get. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I think the biggest payload that we do see come into play, just in general, is probably that camo. I think we see it a lot, and it's really a game changer. So we are going to be taking a look to see who's using the camo for each team.
What a slide there by Maradona, though.
Yeah, I think he killed Avino, who actually was using the camo for question mark. So Rush taking an early lead right here.
Man, we see such great movement from some of these players. Rush in a really nice setup as Viper gets picked off. Navy Clown coming up with a kill. He gets the pickup there for Viper. We're on board, though, with Booster. Booster, such a valuable player. He flies under the radar sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Booster Flames, I think you're right, is one of those players that does fly under the radar in terms of what he brings to his team. It's not often that he's necessarily topping the stat sheet, but he's very consistent in how he plays, and he's definitely a big piece of this Rush Enterprise lineup that makes them successful.
Yeah, and I feel like he doesn't really, he's not as vocal as some of the other players, so that's why, nobody really tends to notice him. With that cell block, hardpoint change, nobody seems to notice that. Rush already set up on that. They're so good with their early rotations, and that is why they haven't lost a hardpoint this season.
Yeah, for sure, and you're seeing the pinch here from question mark. Like you said, they're really good at those early rotations, and they are completely set up. Avino, one of the only players from question mark here on the hill right now. He's just trying to buy some time, play his life, and try to get behind this Rush team. Slink's coming in to pick up Maradona. It does look like we're going to see a question mark break here, but again, you have some strong players from Rush, namely Viper on the hill right now, who bring a pretty good presence on the hill. However, question mark does come away. We are past the halfway point on this hill, though, so I'm not sure how much question mark can really benefit off of this last 10 seconds here.
Every second counts for sure, but with a team like Rush, you already know they're going to hit those early rotations, so you want to have as many players as you can if you're question mark rotating early. And that's why hanging out for those last 10 seconds might not be a good thing in this situation. As you see Rush, look at them already set up perfectly.
Do take note though, Jibby got his on a 2-streak here. He's doing a great job rocking that NV4. Does get shut down by Maradona, so again, Rush looking pretty good in the slaying department here, and question mark not in a great position. They're going to have to continually flood this cave here. Look at all these players from Rush just stacked up, sitting on the rocks. You got players like Booster Flames, Viper, Navy Clown right now working this left side of the cave. Question mark is really at a loss here. There's not a whole lot they can do. They're just trying to gang up and push this cave side as a team. But again, Rush looking dominant on the slaying here, and their setup is so nice that it's going to be really difficult for question mark to break this. You might just see them go to the next hill.
Navy Clown's right about a minute 30 here on hill time already. Navy Clown, one of the, again, on this superstar-packed Rush team, he flies under the radar as well. He's not the biggest slay-heavy player, but he grabs hill time and he does his job, which, that's why these teams are here in the playoffs.
Yep. Take a look real quick. Maradona pushing the flank on question mark. This is going to be a big move. He was able to take out Jibby, who was anchoring spawns for question mark. Puts another kill on original, and just like that, question mark is completely disrupted. Maradona with the NV4 watching this wall run. You better watch out because there's not a whole lot you can do against him.
This wall run, so difficult. We see it all the time on these breakout hardpoints. It's very hard to break on the wall run, and it looks like question mark is going to come to their senses and try to wrap around mid. We do have, though, Jibby sitting in the flank trying to push, but he gets gunned down by Maradona. Maradona 17-4 on a 4-kill streak.
Wow, yeah. I mean, he did have some good positioning there from Jibby. He was able to push the flank just a little bit there, but unfortunately gunned down by Rush. Rush coming away with about triple the points of question mark right now, definitely putting themselves in a good position moving into the second rotation of hills as we are about to come back to the middle of the map. On board with Navy Clown right now. He is just grabbing this last scrap time here before he opts to rotate. Take a look. Maradona set up nicely already on that rotation. Again, early rotations coming out of Rush.
You know what? You said the early rotations and Navy Clown grabbing that scrap time. It's huge. When you can rotate early and slay out, it gives you more confidence to stay back for that scrap time instead of sending all 4 players. Seeing Viper, though, and it's some crazy gun battles, but Jibby guns him down.
Yeah, Jibby is right there to pick up the kills, and it does look like question mark are going to come away with a nice setup and control of this middle hill right here. They are going to get about half the time on this hill. I think you're going to see Rush rotate. Do take a look at Maradona's spawn, though, and now Booster Flame spawn. Look at where they are. Pushed way back out, all the way on the other side of the map. It's going to give Question Mark a great opportunity to move into the next hill. Do take a look at Original now pushing the P3 flank. He's going to try to kill off the last hope for Rush, which was Navy Clown. Set up nicely in the back here on dirt, but that is going to be it. So Question Mark set up to get this early rotation on this next hill. If they can make the most of this time, it's going to be huge for them to try to come back and swing the momentum back in their favor.
Oh, definitely. And you see Original having one of the slowest games I think we've ever seen him have, only having 5 kills. But, oh my god, Jibby just absolutely getting gunned down. Sorry to see that. But Original, you know, kind of the MVP for Question Mark, especially in the playoffs. This playoff KD is, you know, up there, man. I'm pretty sure he's leading the playoffs in KD. So off to a slow start, but if he could really lock this down for his team and, you know, be the Original that we have seen all season, you know, it's going to be a tight race here. And, you know, they're within 60 points now of this hard point. But what a team break there by Rush.
Yeah, Jibby doing a good job of trying to fend off the Rush members who are flooding in there. But unfortunately, Rush is able to break it there. Fortunately for Rush, unfortunately for Question Mark. And now Rush, again, is going to set up this devastating kind of positioning here on this next drill hardpoint. So Booster set up nicely on the cave there. And again, you know, this is one of those setups that Rush had on this last rotation on this hill.
I'm getting flashbacks.
Yeah, it was just so devastating against Question Mark here on this Graveyard Hill. And, you know, they're going to try to copy that again. Question Mark are really going to try to find out how they can break it from this time. It looks like they're coming from P3 side, so maybe that'll offer them just a different point of view and maybe they'll be able to do it. But Rush, I mean, set up really nicely here. 4 strong on the hill. It's a straight up 4v4 gun battle here on the hill. A couple of kills going down in favor of Question Mark. Actually, Slinksy on the hill right now looking to clean up the last play from Rush, and they do take out Maradona. So a nice strong break there from Question Mark. They are going to be able to get some time. Rush now is going to look to set up really just get their spawn set up nicely for this next rotation because they're going to want to try to win off this next hill.
Slinksy, the league leader in a hill time this season. Original told me himself, Slinksy is one of the purest OBJ players you will find in this league, leading his team with 18 kills right now and over a minute on hill. Really having himself a phenomenal game, but just Rush is all we're seeing in the kill feed right now, putting on a show. If Slinksy is your most dominant Slayer, you know, not taking a knock at him, he's a great OBJ, but if he's your most dominant Slayer in a game, something isn't right. You really need your Slayers like Avino and Original to step up right here.
Yeah, 100% agree. I mean, Original and Avino are those big Slayers for Question Mark. They've done it in the past. Unfortunately for them, they're just not doing it right now. You have Jibby and Slinksy leading the team in kills, and that is definitely not something you see a lot. That's really not typical for them. So that must be hurting them right now. You know, definitely curious to see what they're kind of saying in game and how they're trying to combat this right now. But, you know, Jibby and Slinksy setting up at the top of their team right now with 18 kills. That's big for them.
You know, we're seeing a nice setup here by Jibby. Jibby, you know, has gotten some, as he pops that overdrive, this could be really big here on this rotation. It looks like he'll get Booster from behind, and he'll jump right there on hill to contest. Oh, and with that kill, they actually have hill time, so this is absolutely huge. Rush only needs 6 seconds to get the win. Jibby just needs to stay alive, and he cannot. Nobody's on hill, though. This is really big. Keep an eye on hill.
Yeah, this is a great shift in momentum here for Question Mark. However, it looks like all 4 of them were gunned down by a couple of members of Rush. Honestly, I think this could be the game right here. It's going to be up to Jibby to contest. They will try to take him out rather quickly, and that should do it for the game. Rush coming away with the victory there, 250 to 143 on this breakout hard point. Some nice comebacks mounted by Question Mark. They had some good setups, but unfortunately, it just looks like Rush was able to shut them down each time.
You know, the thing is, Slinksy had one of his best performances, I think, all season. But being the OBJ player, he actually had 1 less kill than deaths this season, in the regular season. And have him leading your team.
Yeah.
You know, again, like I said earlier, not take a shot at him, but you scratch your head a bit. And to have 2 top 10 KD leaders in Avino and Original to combine for 20 kills.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
You know, I really don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going on in their heads right now. That's huge when you have your top 2 Slayers dropping, I mean, Original on single digits here in this map. Again, it's only map 1, but to come out of the gates like that, you've got to be worried if you're question mark right now. Definitely curious to see what they're talking about right now. Maybe we'll meet up with them or hear from them later in the night. But that's something that you really do not see often, and I'm a little bit confused about that. Bottom line here that stands out for me on the statistics sheet is going to be Navy Clown with the 3 minutes.
I was about to mention.
I think that's really huge.
Not only that, Navy Clown had 12 kills this game. 7 of them were defends while he was on Hill. So, I believe I even said this previously in the semifinals. He doesn't kill a lot, but when he kills, he protects his own life, and he's on the Hill. He kills when it matters.
Right.
Which, hats off to that. Really crazy stuff.
Jeez, man. I mean, again, I don't want to favor one team over the other here. It's just really unfortunate for question mark right now to come out of the gates like that. I think moving on to this next search and destroy, I believe we're going to be on Scorch. It's something that we really need to see them swing the momentum here right now on their host on Search and Destroy.
Well, the one Search and Destroy, the one map that Rush lost all season was a Scorch S&D.
Right.
You're hoping that happens again right now, if you're question mark. Quick shout out. We see King Bizzle _74. Thank you for that follow. And we got Hype and Terror. I hope that's not Wired
That's
Terror.
Wired Terror, yep.
That is. Ugh. Wired Terror, player of Hypnotic. The follow.
Appreciate that, guys. Thanks for following and sticking around. Still waiting on that first donation hype to come through. We do have a really cool new alert.
Wired,
or
if you're
sub.
here, man.
If somebody wants to sub, man, I wish you guys could see this alert. It's sick. And it will play whether or not we're in the
Durst
game.
McFlurst, didn't he follow already?
I think so. But anyway, hey, thanks for that follow, Durst McFlurst. Appreciate that once again. And guys, just thanks for being here. Once again, we got some big numbers, 23 people watching right now.
See, Slink, real quick, he said, I'm trying my best. Slinksy had a nice performance that map.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. He really put his team on his shoulders. Unfortunately, it did not result in the map win, excuse me. So, we'll see what happens in S&D. I think from playing with Original and Slinksy and playing with those players on question mark every now and then, I think they're good at S&D, man. I think S&D is their game mode.
Yeah.
So if they're taking a map, it's this one.
All right. And I think that's exactly what they need.
Of course, my one thing I do want to say, though, I would not be surprised if we see on B-Bomb, Maradona, and Original both sniping.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised. I would not be surprised if we see that. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think sniping has been a huge thing that maybe later in the season really started to crop up on the Scorch S&D, right over by that drill area. It seems like really close quarters, but you do see the sniper come out, and again, you see big players. I think HUD dropped a couple of kills just really back to back in quick succession there.
Yeah, nice.
One match. So
there.
yeah, you have players with that level of talent that can do it. So if you do see the sniper come out, again, it's a risk, but that's what you see at this level of play. A lot of these players are confident enough to take it out, and especially when you're surrounded with so much talent on your team, you're not super worried about it. Again, something that we didn't touch upon is that the sniper could come in big if a team does decide to push A-bomb. A lot of times we do see teams whip out the sniper on the offensive, go the A route, look down the hallway, and try to get that entry frag on A-bomb so they can then move in and flood the hill or flood the bomb site as a team and get the take on the A-bomb site. So, which usually is a very difficult bomb site to take. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in the lobby right now. We are just waiting on one, and we will get this match started real quick. Let's see, we got over 20 people in the lobby right now. How do you feel about maybe trying to give away a PAX lanyard
right now?
Yeah, we're still waiting on a player. What do you think?
Why not?
Right? All right, guys, we're going to be giving away a PAX lanyard. We just went to PAX this past weekend. If you have not checked out the video, do so right now. Do yourself a favor. Go watch the video. A FaZe member makes a guest appearance. I'm not going to say who, but he does make a guest appearance in the video. We have some pretty big names in the video. So do check out the video. It's really funny. It's on the Breakout League YouTube channel. You can find it all down below in the panels. But real quick, we are going to do a PAX lanyard giveaway. So if you guys are in the chat, you will be eligible to enter this giveaway as we do wait for the last member to join up in the game. So let's rock and roll. Here we go. Durst McFlurst, HUD. All right, guys, try to type in the chat and it'll enter you in this giveaway here. We're going to have everybody eligible to enter. We got Terror entered in the giveaway here. Fantastic. Yeah, guys, just type up in that chat right now. If I don't win, it's rigged. Just type anything, guys. We are on a 20-second delay, so I understand if you guys are not hearing this right away. But yeah, do type something in the chat. You got to be an active user as declared by Nightbot here. So here we go, guys. Yep, Leiko, we are giving away a PAX lanyard right now as we wait for the last player to join up in the game. Absolutely
People
free.
like free stuff, so just take it from us. Also, let's give a quick shout out to the DJ and producer of Breakout League, EX. You are listening to his songs right now as we speak, and all of the songs that we hear, you hear in between, like the loading screens and whatnot. It's all him.
Yep. Again, guys, let us know if the music isn't super loud. I will raise it. It's really hard to gauge how loud it is on your end. And unfortunately, we don't have someone like back and forth with us checking for us. So that's going to be up to you guys. If the music is too soft or too loud, do let us know. If it's just right, that's totally awesome. And let me know, guys, because we can raise that up for you. And again, it's EX, 16 years old, the official DJ and producer of Breakout League, an extremely talented guy. So if you guys want to check him out, do type in !EHAX in the chat, and it'll shoot you his SoundCloud link. Definitely check him out. And there is an unreleased EX song in the video I mentioned earlier, so do go check that out.
So good.
YouTube link down in the panels below. Definitely check it out. The unreleased EX song, it's honestly one of my favorites that he has so far.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It comes right around in the middle of the video, so you're definitely going to want to check that out. Guys, we are going to be picking a winner of the giveaway, so if you have not yet spoken in the chat, now is your time to do so. It looks like we have everybody entered. Everyone is eligible, so we are going to do the giveaway. Here we go, guys. Rolling it. Jibby!
He's
Jibby.
playing right now, yet he still won.
That's dedication right there. So Jibby is going to be the winner of the PAX lanyard. Congratulations, Jibby. Get in contact with us later on, and we can send that out to you. Congratulations, bud. We are going to jump back into the gameplay now. So Jibby, congrats on winning that PAX lanyard.
We possibly do another one, later,
yeah.
of course.
Oh,
we have other PAX lanyards, so don't start crying in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We will definitely do another one.
And Jibby can't win another one, just so you guys know. So
yeah, you can't be re-entered. So there's a couple people like excuse me, whoever won the last one, who was it? Josh? Shadow, yeah.
Josh.
Shadow won the last one, yeah. So if you guys won one already, we're gonna take you out of the eligibility. So Crayon, thanks for that follow. HUD, Scump, King Louie, thanks for following, guys. We appreciate that. And yeah, we are going to be jumping into the match really soon.
Here we go.
It looks like we have all the
starting up.
players there. We're just waiting on the host to start up, and the match is about to begin. So I say we rock and roll.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get into
Scorch SND on !mark's host up against Rush.
Here we go, guys.
Rush leads the series 1-0.
Yeah, that's big, man. Taking map 1, I think we, that's... I don't want to say expected, but that's something that Rush must have felt confident about.
Hey, see what I said earlier? It looks like we're going to see it happen as Maradona does have the sniper. Really nice stuff. Looks like Booster is not spawning in yet. There he goes. He just connected now. How about we hop on board with Jibby since he did just win? Yeah, maybe that'll be his prize. We won't give him the PAX lanyard, but we'll give him this.
Yeah, well, never mind. We won't even
actually
give
him some screen time here.
But yeah, again, congrats, Jibby, on winning the PAX lanyard. Guys, Scorch, Search and Destroy. It's map 2. The series is 1-0 in favor of Rush right now. It is going to be a best of 5. As always here in Breakout League, Jibby now entering the B bomb site with his team. A nice spread out offensive here from
Looks
Definitely
like he
trying
whiffed
to
on that
map.
grenade, though.
Yeah, and that's something that I think that we've seen actually Jibby do on the last map as well. Kind of misthrow his grenade a little bit there. Not really doing anything too decisive here. A lot of back and forth, that maybe second guessing or just trying to scope out the map. So, this could be a good thing or a bad thing. We're not really sure. We're going to have to feel it out just a little bit.
Yeah, and Rush had them pinned down really on that B bomb site. So then they figured, they're going to go for the rotation. So I feel like Rush is countering this perfectly. And Viper picks up the first kill. Rush has the number advantage. Avino getting his pickup, though.
Ooh, the nade goes out. Avino cleaning up a couple of players there. Finally taken down by Navy Clown in computers. Looks like it's a 1v1 original versus Navy. And Navy comes in and cleans it up quick. Wow, a lot of kills going down really quickly. They're hard to keep up with it all.
That did go down really quickly. You know, you think Original could have it. We see the RPR come out. We've seen Navy use that gun before. He really likes it, that fast fire rate. For somebody who pushes the objective as hard as he does, I think it's a nice fit, and he's obviously doing well with it.
Yeah, let's actually stay on board with the Navy clan and see what he does here. Also rocking that flechette grenade. Big factor here on a map like this, you know, with a lot of these close range kind of channels for players to flood into. That could definitely score him a kill or help him get an assist. Maradona with the initial kill on Avino. Rush will be taking this B bomb site with relative ease.
They have it locked down pretty well. Looks like we have too many members, though, kind of stuck here in blue. See how they like to break this.
Ooh, Viper definitely spotting that back player there. I think it's going to be Original for question mark. Trying to get some shots down. Original fleeing just a little bit. He's going to hit this wall run and actually try to push Viper right there. Original definitely was taken out.
Jibby with a two-piece.
Yeah, Jibby with a big two-piece there. It's going to be a 2v1. Maradona, the last player left for Rush, but he's looking good. He's got the NV4, and he's set up nicely.
You know, this is not the one player you want alive. Oh, Maradona, making them pay.
Jeez, dude. Maradona laying the smack down there on question mark and cleaning up both players from question mark who were alive to finish off that 1v2.
Jibby almost doing a nice job getting that turn on. He had two really nice kills prior to that. You have to question maybe Slinksy's move of being so aggressive there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe have him just sit back a little bit, but, you know, nothing you can do about it now. Rush takes the 2-0 round lead so far. Looks like we're going to see another B push here. A lot of stuff going down at B. Viper with 2 kills, 2 quick kills.
Yeah, let's get back on board with Viper real quick. It looks like he is going to be in a gunfight here. Just as we switched away, Maradona got a kill on Avino, and just like that, Rush takes the 3rd round. I mean, that was pretty quick right there. Really hard to keep up with. Once again, guys, I apologize, but kills are going down so quickly, and it's hard to gauge just exactly where everything is going to go down. So we're going to try to stay on board, I think, with B-Bomb for the most part, or wherever the bomb is running. But, I mean, wow, it's just really tough, especially when you have a round like that. Kills going down really quick.
You know, both of these teams, we've seen them play, and they play fast. They go at each other quickly. You know, I just think Rush is getting the upper hand here. They're having their gun up first. Rush has an easy take of B right now.
Yeah, they just waltz right into B.
But the one thing that might not that might play for question mark here is that they should have a flank, but it looks like Viper caught onto that, and he's going to be checking the flank down there as well. And yeah. Viper did pick up Avino in the flank, as we did expect. Slinksy, the last question mark player alive. If anybody can do it, you know, he's got the hot hand after coming off of that really nice hard point.
Take a look, though. I think Navy is giving chase to Slinksy right now, and he will get the kill again with that RPR Evo, getting those close range engagements in their favor. Again, quick work there by Rush. Rush is really just slicing through question mark like a hot knife through butter, shutting them down, even on their host, even on S&D.
If you're question mark, what do you think you have to do next? Do you stay back and go for picks? Because, I mean, Rush is being super aggressive. Or are you going to counter Rush? What would you personally do here?
Yeah, personally, I would not go for the picks. I think you need to match their aggression, and you need to be explosive here. You need to move as a team. I think what you're seeing is question mark acting in a manner that I would describe as maybe timid. And I think what you need is pure explosion and moving as a team. You need to do that up against a team like Rush. We're going to jump on board with Original right here. It looks like he might meet some contention. Viper does slip out to mid-map. Bomb, however, is going down for question mark, so this could be big for them here. Viper now going to slip in. I don't think he actually saw Original there. Original might be able to get the kill on him there.
Viper. Original, though, picking up Viper.
That was, I think, too little too late there by Original. He was able to clean up Viper, but, I mean, Viper got 2 quick kills, and that's just no good for them right now. It looks like he will be moving up onto the bomb. He is able to get that initial kill, but then Maradona pops up and gets the trade off there with plenty of time to defuse. Rush going for the sweep here. They already won 5 rounds, 1 more, and it's going to be a total shutout on this S&D.
One thing to note, Maradona, he's got all of his streaks right now. If I'm question mark, I might be shaking in my boots a little bit if I'm being completely honest. Maradona's lethal enough with a gun, but now give him how many ever streaks?
Oh, man. Yeah,
that's not where you want to be.
Let's actually hop on board with him. He's a player who we've seen drop tremendous amount of kills in S&Ds. I think last week he dropped something like 15 or 16. Incredible. He's already at 8 right now. Unfortunately, for him, I don't think he'll have enough time to go for that 15 or 16. We're going to hop on board on the bomb right now. But, man, I mean, Rush looking really unstoppable here. A nice two-piece by Viper that really, I don't know if he should have even got that in the first place.
Though. Keep an eye on that.
And let's take a look at Original. He's going to be the last player alive for question mark here in a 1v3 situation. I mean, this is just a tough... This is just a... man, I don't know what to say about this situation he's in right now.
Nice FTL jump, though. Really nice job by Original. Almost running out of boost, but a counter FTL jump and a kill leads to a Rush 6-0 victory. Wow. Navy Clown, 7-2. This guy's putting on a show tonight.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like what we saw there from Original in that last play. Unfortunately, you know, again, too little too late for question mark there. Rush looking explosive, looking dominant as they have so far in the series and so far in the season. So not a whole lot question mark was able to do there. And when you go down on search and destroy on your own host, that must be a little bit discouraging. They're going to have to do something big here on this next uplink.
It's really tough. Question mark is an S&D team. That's been their game mode. You know, I've heard Original say, we don't lose S&D. They don't lose it all. You know, it takes a team like Rush to really, you know, have them lose. Going into this third map, I believe it is a throwback uplink.
I think it's a throwback uplink, yeah.
It is a throwback uplink. If I'm Rush, I'm going to try to slam down as many points early. And, same goes for question mark. Question mark, they are looking a little scared. And, you know, I don't know if scared is the right word. Maybe timid like you used earlier. But they're not playing with the confidence that we've seen them play with before.
Yeah.
You know, they've had last week, previously in the semifinals on Tuesday, they had a 2-map lead on Hypnotic, and Hypnotic almost got a reverse sweep off. It's almost like they've been playing like they don't have that confidence throughout the playoffs. They're playing well, but their best player, who's Original, he's probably having one of the worst series of the entire season, which of all times to have his worst series, this is not the time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we do need to give him some credit about, you know, he did have the injury to his wrist.
He had an MRI this morning, I believe.
Yeah, so that's definitely just a really tough situation to be playing with right there. You know, who knows, that could be affecting his gameplay right now. Overall, though, definitely, like you said, not the numbers you want to be seeing coming out from question mark right now, especially in a championship match. You know, the play at this like level and this caliber, it's Rush is really running away with it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little startling, if I'm being completely honest. You know, hopefully for season 2, we have more and more teams. So, you know, it's not question mark and Rush, you know, going back every single time. Hopefully we throw some more teams in the mix to dethrone others. So we'll see what happens, though. I like this uplink, man. I like throwback uplink. We've seen it a lot. We've seen a lot of kills get dropped on throwback uplink. Let me just say that. On Tuesday, Original dropped. It was actually a hard point, but on throwback, he dropped like 46 kills or something nuts with an ERAD.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen players drop crazy amount of kills on throwback, so I won't be surprised if somebody does it tonight, whether it's Maradona or Original, one of those two. I'd keep an eye out.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've seen, 46, 47, 48, 49, like that whole kill range, the big amounts of kills are on throwback, whether it be uplink or hardpoint, you know, that changes, but throwback is one of those really big slay-heavy maps. It's such a close quarter map compared to the others. You can really get a lot of big kill counts, you know, especially you have big slayers like Maradona here, who at one point did hold the record for most kills in a single game. That's definitely what Rush is going to be looking to do. They're going to be looking to just take control and keep the control, prolong throughout the game. Question mark really needs to do something drastic here. They need to change something up completely. They need to really be more explosive and snappy than they have been all night. I don't know. It might be a stretch, but they really need to come through and just explode here.
You know, I really hate to say it. I don't want to put pressure on one player specifically, but Original, this is his game to step up.
Yep.
he is a slayer. He drops kills whenever he plays. You know, it's rare you see a respawn where he doesn't drop 20 kills. You know, the hard point earlier was, I think, the first time we may have even seen it all season. So this is his game to step up. You know, we see an Erad right now. Viper's got the Erad. We will hop on board with Original. Actually, let me grab the controller from you.
Sure thing.
And Original's rocking the K-bar with his... He's got some nades, which I like to see. But, man, he's changed his clan tag to 0-3. Not the confidence we want to see from a player.
Yeah, that's definitely not the mentality you want going into it. But, I mean, hey, whatever you got to do to hype yourself up, I guess. You know, I don't know if that's the strategy there. Real quick control. Navy Clown does have the ball. I do want to say, though, all three members of his team went down.
He does have a breakaway, it looks like.
He's going to get this dunk.
Unbelievable.
Wow. Literally, all three other members of Rush went down, and Navy Clown was able to single-handedly run away with it and get that uplink.
Navy Clown is putting on a performance this series, and I feel like he's going, like, again, sliding under the radar because he doesn't have those sexy, you know, kill feed moments. As we see, Navy and Maradona lighten up the kill feed.
And you're absolutely right. I think Navy Clown, you know, being kind of the designated OBJ player for a team like Rush, definitely kind of sets you up to kind of go under the radar. You know, you have such big names ahead of you. Question mark with an all-4 down.
Unbelievable.
That was really good for them, and see if they can kind of shift this. But like you said, Navy Clown going under the radar a little bit, but really showing his worth tonight.
You know, they say playoffs are where the stars come out, and he really is putting on a show. Booster with a two-piece. Booster, I believe, led the league in uplinks this season, and it looks like Avino might slide in, but he cannot. Going for that dunk, maybe got a little greedy there. Probably, you know, I think it's safe to say he could have gotten a throw off.
Oh, yeah.
But against Rush, you want to keep it tied, if anything, so that's probably his mindset.
You know, my big take on that, you know, of course we've been playing uplink since Advanced Warfare, just like everybody else. I mean, my take and my personal preference is to always go for the one. I think ones are extremely valuable and highly underrated. You know, a couple of ones is the same as a dunk. I think the risk that you take when you make a dunk is just way too much, unless you know you're in the clear.
You know, Viper did get a dunk in right there. I feel like we did not give that call out, but it's whatever. We have Navy with a two-piece. Oh my goodness, he is really coming alive here in the playoffs. Can he get three? Yes, he does. Make it four? No, he does not. Original slaying out with that Erad. Erad's all around as Maradona resets it.
Yeah, we see Maradona always electric on this map with the Erad, you know, jumping into top food, top ticket, running in with that Erad so quickly. I mean, if you're a player with an MV4 in top food or top ticket, it's just extremely difficult to contest that. Navy Clown with the ball once again. Going to try to go for a dunk. With players converging on him, he might not be able to get it off this time, but
ooh,
he
just
does.
in the nick of time for Navy Clown.
Yeah, just barely does get it there. Slinks, the only player for question mark in the middle of the map right now, does get gunned down by Booster Flames. And again, Rush showing a pretty strong map control presence here with the lead by 6 right now. They're really starting to pull away this margin against question mark.
See, we're on board with Jibby. Jibby's having a nice game for himself as he does get taken out there.
Wow.
But,
just looking at some of the players from question mark, I think the big thing right now is the shots are a little bit inconsistent. And it just looks like Rush's shots are smoother, cleaner, and just well held together. And I think question mark trying to play a little too quickly and maybe a little too frantic in their shots right now. I think you need to kind of settle in, find your targets, and execute on those kills. Again, Rush just being explosive as expected, and it's paying off for him.
You know, they always say, whether it's in sports, whether it's in basketball, baseball, even in COD, you got to play your brand of basketball, baseball, Call of Duty. And question mark isn't playing their brand of COD right now. It's just
nice,
simple as that.
Oh, Maradona with the pick.
Oh my goodness.
Man, that was a big throw coming out of question mark there, but Maradona did get that pick.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Jibby did get a two-piece to follow up, but Maradona really doing a nice job with that. Let's see, Avino lighting up the scoreboard, Maradona lighting up the scoreboard. We're seeing kills all around right now. Oh my god.
Now look at Avino's positioning. He is hit with the... Oh, he was hit with the jammer grenade. That was a tough break there. Again, big pushes made from question mark here. Look at Original setup, just kind of camping it out, waiting for Rush to push through, and he's going to catch one player off guard. Not able to turn that into a big play, though, as we're coming to yet another, I think, stalemate. Kind of a little bit back and forth action here. Question mark. I think 2 or 3 pushes that really did not result in any points, and at the very least, maybe they should have gotten a couple of throws off. You know, instead of a 6-0 game, you might have a 6-3 game, 6-2 game, something like that, which definitely, you know, really cuts down the amount of possessions it takes for them to come back.
You know, I do want to say, I feel like Question Mark did a nice job, kind of, you know, stop the bleeding in a way.
Yeah.
Because members of Rush have not scored for a little while now, so they did a nice job on that standpoint. But, you know, the missed throw that Maradona intercepted, nothing you could do about that. But, you know, maybe you look back to the dunk attempt that Avino made. Could that come back to haunt them as Original puts up a nice two-piece? Navy Clown, though.
Oh, Navy Clown swerving.
Ooh, you got to think, that could have been a possible throw right there. It looks pretty online on our screen.
Yeah, that was actually a really good point attempt. Unfortunately, the clock ran out on him and he wasn't able to get it. So Rush looking strong here as they have been all season and all series. They are leading the uplink right now 6-0 against Question Mark. Question Mark with a couple of really nice pushes and attempts at making themselves known on the scoreboard. Just nothing really came to fruition there in that half for them. Do you think this is going to be an easier half for them, or do you think Rush is going to come away with the win here?
I think Question Mark is going to heat up a bit here. They really did a nice job the second half of that round, put up kills. You know, they were like behind in the kill department, but they really stepped up. It looks like it's about even kill-wise for both teams. Rush might be ahead slightly, but still, they did a nice job clawing their way back as two members of Question do go down, followed up by Jibby taking out Maradona. That's big as Maradona goes down.
Navy Clown with the ball.
Oh, such great movement from Navy, and he gets a dunk.
That's a rough break if you're Question Mark right there. Original with a nice two-piece, but again, you know, Navy Clown exhibiting the great movement right there, using those wall runs, staying low, staying high, doing whatever he can to avoid bullets. And I mean, man, when you have that many players up from Question Mark, you really do not want Navy Clown to get away with the score.
You don't? Ooh, looks like we might see a kinetic popped, but it does not work out. We are going to hop on board, with Original, who's heating up the second half. He has 17 kills, leading the lobby. You know, that's what we expected. Ooh, failed FTL jump. That could have been huge.
Nice beatdown there from Jibby with the uplink. This is going to be an easy dunk for Question Mark, putting themselves on the board here. This could be how they mount their comeback.
3 minutes, 30 seconds, a lot of time. You could easily get off 3 more dunks here. We'll see what happens. Looks like Original is in a good position to get the ball. He's going to head up through Ticket.
Yeah, it looks like Slinks was just delaying time there. If he can get the pass off to his teammate, let's see where Jibby's positioning is right now. He's going to have to go for the kills, but he goes for the ball instead, unfortunately, and is not able to get any points off on that play. I think that was the big deciding factor, that you need to go for those kills. You know, a lot of times you see players kind of narrow in on the ball. Not to say that that's what Jibby was doing there necessarily, but, you know, maybe he thought he wasn't able to take on 3 players at once, so he might as well just go for the ball. But really, I think the kills are the biggest factor when you're in a position like that where the ball is so close. You need to clear out the kills and then go for the uplink.
Well, you know, both teams are really close in the kill department, but the one thing that there is no stat for is the timeliness of their kills,
right?
Which is heavily in favor of Rush. I feel like this map. We did miss, I feel like, the throw, though, go off by Question Mark.
Yeah, it was by Original. Nice throw there.
So that is nice to see them. They're clawing their way back. You know, a couple dunks here, and they could tie this up and possibly take the lead.
Big kill from Original right there, taking out Booster Flames, one of the more devastating players of Rush's lineup right now.
Original, first player to break 20 kills. He Viper gunned him down, though.
Again, I think what you're seeing there is just purely forcing it. Jibby actually taken out by Slinks right there, but not before we could get the kill. I think it was just too much of forcing it right there. And, you know, again, you need to focus on getting those timely kills when you're near the uplink. And just like that, you know, Question Mark had a scoring opportunity. Rush was able to bring the ball all the way back on the other side of the map. So that's not what you want if you're a team like Question Mark right now.
Ooh, a failed jump by Original. Clearing the ball off towards the enemy uplink. But the reset, a failed reset. This ball is still down, but it might get reset here.
Yeah, Booster does toss it off. Again, I think what we're seeing here is just Question Mark getting really close and then getting a little bit frantic. Some team killing going down there for Rush. They must be feeling really confident here. With 1 minute and 30 left, it's going to be tough for Question Mark to make their comeback, although not impossible. But again, you know, I think Question Mark kind of getting frantic and really looking to get kills, just kind of like feeling the pressure, I think is really what's happening to Question Mark right now. Getting so close to the uplink, getting 1 or 2 kills, and then just not able to close the deal. So Rush really does have this lead here, and Question Mark needs to do something quickly with 1 minute left.
they're not capitalizing, and oh, poor Avino getting punched by Viper. Viper, if they get these points off right here, it might seal the deal. We'll see, though, as Bomb is sitting down outside of food.
You gotta like the use of Jammer and Flechette from most of Rush's lineup right now. Maybe it's something that's worked out well for them in the past, but yeah, I think that's that's a really critical factor right now in how they're entering their gunfights. You saw Booster enter a couple of gunfights just a little while ago, and he did pop that Jammer grenade. It's gonna set him up to win those gunfights really nicely early on.
Yeah, Avino looked like he was gonna go for a throw, but then he realized how, he realized the score, and he went for a dunk. It did not result in points, but with active camo, Viper does pop it.
That's gonna be it.
That will be it.
Guys, 5 seconds left in this Map 3 uplink. Rush Enterprises are your Breakout League Season 1 champions, taking the series 3-0.
Unbelievable stuff. I saw some really great things right there. And they played a team game. Everybody did well, man. And every single map, too. Everybody did well. Booster, I think, only dropped 1 kill in the S&D. But when he dropped 1 kill, Navy stepped up and dropped 7.
Yeah.
So, congrats to the members of Rush Season 1 champions.
Yeah. Guys, Breakout League Season 1 is officially over right now with that map. Rush taking the series 3-0 over Question Mark. You guys are the first champions, so congratulations to you. Second place, though, is Question Mark, so they're going to be getting that second place prize of $100. Congratulations to them. You guys had a great season as well. And thanks to all the